Do you work from home all day just like me? Well, if you do, you're going to want to check out the 4 things that I tidy really quick every single day in order to make sure that I can be productive when I'm working from home. Because if your house feels like a mess, your head feels like a mess, and then we don't get anything done. I'm going to show you how. Let's check it out. Hey, welcome back to another episode here on the Systemize Your Life YouTube channel. I'm hanging out with you in 4 different spaces today because I'm going to talk to you about the things that I like to tidy to ensure that I am very productive throughout the day. Here's the thing, I work from home. I bet you work from home too, which is why you're so interested in knowing how can you keep your brain straight when there's a mess all around you. Well, we've got some really important systems here on this podcast and this YouTube channel to make sure that you know how to keep up with the clutter, but every single day things get out of place. If there's dishes, if there's laundry, if my bed's unmade, if things are not orderly, I cannot focus. Like I will find myself doing all of the things, and I bet you can relate. So these are the very 4 specific spaces that I'm going to take you through to make sure that you have a tidy space and a clear mind so that you can get your work done. If you don't know me already, my name is Chelsi Jo and I love all things systems. I've been doing systems in my home while I've been scaling my business for the past 6 years, and I juggle both of them on a regular basis. We homeschool, I cook all the things from this kitchen 24/7 from scratch. I am working out, taking care of myself, doing all of the things, been married for 9 years. Like I'm literally doing all the things that you're doing, but I'm doing them with systems in mind. These 4 places are not going to take you super long, and I want you to be able to just check them off really quick. And you know what? Here's the really cool thing about this. You can just start with one of them. You don't have to do all 4, and that alone is going to provide so much relief. So let's dig in. Okay, every single morning I come through and I have a thing that I call a tidy queue. I put it right inside of my paper planner and it says tidy queue. When I get done with my morning routine block, it's a block of time. I move through all of those things. I go to the gym. That's pretty much all we're doing right now. And I kind of get ready, but that pretty much consumes my whole morning. That's new. We just put our workout into our very teeny tiny morning routine block. And yes, I'm getting up at 4:45 in the morning. I'm a little tired. Actually, I'm doing really great. I'm getting to bed on time and it's working out. But as soon as we get back home from the gym, I am blowing through this kitchen and making sure that we're tidy. So one of the first things that gets done is the dishwasher gets unloaded. I don't do that. I've outsourced it to my husband. And whenever he's not here, before he was at the fire department, then I would take it over, or we have the kids do it. So that's getting done and I'm not consumed with that. But I am making sure that I'm wiping down all of the counters and that all of the dishes are tidied up. At the same time, obviously, we've got a lot going on in the mornings. I'm making sure that breakfast is happening, packing lunches, helping everybody get their packed lunches into the lunchbox. But my number one focus in my brain, because I know what's coming up, is making sure that my kitchen is tidy. So what I really want to see is countertops that don't have really anything on them. And you know what? I literally just cleaned these bad boys this morning, wiped them down and like literally wiped them down because that is amazing. It smells good. I don't think about putting things away all day long. I can't even tell you how important that is. So if you're waking up every morning to a sea of dishes, this is going to be a big problem for you, right? So we've got to back that up. I'm not working through last night's dinner dishes. Absolutely not. I could never get that done. So that's a key part of this. I'm tidying up from breakfast and there's nothing left over from the night before. So if that is a missing piece, that's something that we're going to want to dig into in another episode. All right, here's the second thing that I tidy every single morning. It is such a thing for me. I make sure that I open all of my curtains, all of my blinds. Like I need the light in here. The light not only does so much for our health, like seriously so much for our health. If you haven't gone down that rabbit hole, you absolutely should. But here's the deal. It brightens the space and it makes me want to be in here. It makes me feel like doing work. The second part of this is tidying up my entire couch. There is always pillows and blankets all over the place on that thing. And just a little teeny tiny literally, like, look how tiny this space is. We do not have a big space. My kitchen's right there. Like, it's all right here. And so we go through, I tidy up the pillows, I fold up the blankets, There's dog toys laying out like this one. He gets them out all day long. Sometimes there's a ton. We'll put them in the basket. I turn my diffuser on and we are set and ready to go. This is the space that we pass through all day, every day. And sometimes I get really bored of being in my office. I don't want to be in there anymore. I want to come down here. And if there's dishes or if there's laundry sitting here or wherever you're keeping your laundry, which most people will dump on the couch, it's not an inviting space, right? So you're either going to get distracted by that or it's going to make you completely derailed and not even know what to focus on. This is a super huge game changer for me, is this living area. Your main space that you're living in, it's really important for it to feel calm and not chaotic, and for it not to be sucking you in and drawing you in to the things that you know you're not supposed to be focused on right now. Like when it's your work block and you're trying to work from home and you're trying to be productive, this space should be tidied. So if your kids are up early enough in the morning, sometimes they'll contribute and they'll help out with this. I'm huge on contributions. But honestly, I try my very best to get this space tidied up the night before. One thing that I love more than anything is having the opportunity to come downstairs and reset this living space so I can look forward to being in it all day long while I'm working. All right, here's the truth. Space number 3 is your bedroom. Let's check in with the bedroom situation. I can't tell you how powerful it is to just make your bed in the morning. I would love to tell you that I do this every single day, but I don't. I do it most days. A lot of the times it's my husband. I don't necessarily love mastering this entire bed by myself. It's a lot of work, but most of the time, like most of the time, we are getting our bed made every single morning. Every once in a while, I will come back through and do it later. So big disclaimer, I don't do this perfectly. And I really want to send a clear message that doing these things perfectly is not what's going to get you into productivity. It's just having the system at your fingertips to be able to utilize on a regular basis that's going to change your life. So here's what I tidy up in my bedroom. Obviously, making your bed. That is going to go a really long way. Your nightstands should be tidied up. Like literally just did it in 15 seconds. Now, if you're like, I can't tidy mine in 15 seconds because I haven't tidied it in like 15 weeks or 15 years. That's fine. Get in there, get it taken care of. You can tackle that this afternoon. You can tackle that this weekend. Get it to a space that you feel really good about, right? And then you can keep that tidy on a regular basis. Here's the other thing. Pick up the laundry off the floor, put it where it belongs, put your toothbrush, your toothpaste, your makeup, your curling irons, put all of that stuff away and get your bedroom tidied up. Here's why this is so unbelievably important. The rest of the day is going to hinge upon what is nagging you in the back of your mind. And so for me, the biggest thing is, do I have laundry to do? Is there stuff that's unkept anywhere? But really, my bedroom is the one that brings me down the most. No matter how out of control your entire day may get or what the day brings you, if you've made your bed right out of the gate, you've already accomplished so much more than so many other people, which is not the standard that we're setting, but it does set you up to know that you've already accomplished something in your day. Here's the other thing. Again, obviously natural light is my best friend. And so I really genuinely believe that the lighting in your space is huge. And not every home is designed with big, huge windows like mine, but opening my windows first thing in the morning, making my bed, cleaning off my dresser. So I'm taking my water cup downstairs with me, putting my jewelry on or putting it away if I took some off the night before and sat it there, making sure that whenever I got ready in the morning, that whole entire space is tidy and clean. Helps me so much. And here's the power of this system. Here's what it really brings to you. When I know that I got ready for the day, which reminding you now that I've already gone and worked out, and you may not have for a long time. I didn't do any of that beforehand. I did this first, but now I know that if I can come in here and I can get ready for the day and all of this is taken care of, the only thing that I have left to focus on is work.
That's it. And that is an incredible place to be if you're trying to work from home. I'm literally running a company from my house. I have a co-working space that I can go to, but if I don't take care of these things before I go, guess what I have to deal with when I come home from work? But most of the time I'm literally working from this space. So speaking of working, let's jump into the fourth and final space that I think you need to tidy in order to be able to focus every day at work. Well, guess where we are? We're here inside of my office. And yes, if you are working from home, wherever you have your office space set up, you absolutely need to keep this space tidy. Tell me down in the comments, what do you have spread all over your desk right now? I just can't wait to see what you actually have going on over there. Like, peel back the curtain and tell me what's all over your work desk. I bet you anything, I could get 3 or 5 people to show up in the comments that have Post-it notes all over their desk, right? And that's why we are having this conversation. Every day before I sit down to work, which happens very early in the morning, I make sure that this entire space is completely tidy. Honestly, yesterday's cups are probably here, which I try not to do, but it happens. And so I want this to be super fresh. So I will take everything, clear it all up. A lot of times I am notorious for taking my socks and shoes off and leaving them underneath my desk, and then I can't find them the next day. And so I make sure that I get everything tidied up and put away. I try and hit that at the end of my work block every day, but I'm going to be really honest. Most of the time it's like, chop, chop, we gotta run, we gotta go, we gotta pick a kid up from school, we gotta take a kid somewhere. And sometimes I don't actually end my work block at the exact 15 minutes before we have to leave like I want to. And so I have to come in and I have to tidy up before I sit down to work. That is one thing that I can say that I do 100% of the time. I actually physically and mentally am unable to work in an untidy space. If you have that experience right now, it's probably what's killing your productivity. So here's what I make sure that I tidy every single time I come into work. I put all my cords away. I put all of the random loose things away. I make sure that I have my water. I make sure that I have some type of really natural, amazing aroma. I have a diffuser up there. I actually have these diffusing stones that I love so much. This is made out of like a terracotta clay. I love these very much. And I make sure that I have my pins. My planner is right back there. And then I also love these. If you guys are big fidgeters like I am, then these are magnetic and it's like putty. And I use this a lot when I'm in meetings or I'm in deep think mode. And so that is what gets my brain going and helps to make me productive whenever I'm sitting down to work. Honestly, the other thing that makes me insanely productive when I'm working, yes, is a really tidy space. Obviously, you can see I have a lot of natural light in here. I have all of that opened up, my windows, my drapes. I've got tons of light in here. It smells amazing. Now it's looking fresh and clean. But the one thing that I love the most, that I keep insanely tidy, that allows me to be uber productive, is having workflows in place for my business. And so the back end of my business, where I sit down to actually work, is insanely organized. If you want to know exactly what this looks like, what a workflow is, what I'm even talking about, I have an incredible free workshop called a workflow workshop that will allow you to see how to organize your business and your goals to be productive, to make more time to work in your day and in your week. Head over to chelseajo.co/workflow workshop to get a free on-demand ticket so you can start watching right now. This is how I signal to my brain that it's time to shift out of home and mom mode and into work mode. It makes an insanely huge impact on how productive I am when I sit down to work every single day. So there you have it. These are the 4 spaces that I get in and I tidy very quickly every single morning as I'm doing all the other things and making sure people are on track. I'm in the back end tidying these little things and getting people involved to help me tidy them. This doesn't give me a picture perfect home by any stretch of the imagination, but it does create a really great place for me to work. And I want you to be able to have that too. I want you to create a space where your brain can thrive, where your work can thrive, where just you as a person can thrive inside of your home. If you're struggling with what that looks like, I am here for you. I've got a ton of systems to be able to help you. Look down in the description to see all of the support and all of the systems that you can learn from me so that we can both do an incredible job juggling our home and our business. Thanks for hanging out with me. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll meet you back here for another episode on the Systemize Your Life YouTube channel.